Yeah.
maybe really headbutt, and yeah, it was my fault. Yeah, I know that, and I said Dan Hooker is a man. Maybe it was a different guy. He could say I hurt my head. I couldn't fight it.
So here's what went down. He's saying, yeah, in the fight. That's massive. The situation wasn't great, but it was on him. Now when someone says my fault, that sounds like straight up accountability, right? Like complete ownership. But we need to go deeper, because this goes way beyond just owning up to a mistake. This is about what actually counts when everything's on the line. He completely owns the foul. He gets the damage it caused. But so what? The real incredible story isn't about his screw-up. It's about the other guy. The one who could have just given up. The one who could have easily been like, my head's ringing, I'm done. Instead, he reached down deep. He got back out there and actually pushed through another round, another whole fight. That right there is the game-changing difference. One guy creates chaos. Sure, but the other guy doesn't just roll with it. They crush it through pure determination. Skip the basic level, sorry. This isn't about feeling bad. This is about raw, undiluted, unstoppable heart. It makes you wonder, seriously, what's inside you when the simple exit is right there in front of you, practically begging you to walk away?
I think because of Paramount, maybe Paramount said we need the Paddy Pimblett versus.
What do you make of this fight? Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje.
Okay, so you want to break down Justin Gaethje and calling people petty at a face-off. Wait up, because there's something crucial you need to get here. When somebody labels an elite fighter petty, that's not an insult in this combat world. That right there is the pure rocket fuel that powers them. Just think about it. In this vicious environment packed with high-pressure fights, in these merciless corporate wars we watch unfold, the ones called petty are usually the only ones truly ready to do whatever it takes to come out on top, regardless of the price, regardless of how it looks. This isn't some personality defect, it's the signature trait of total relentless dominance. You really need to understand this difference. So are you going to keep casually throwing around petty, or are you finally beginning to recognize the deep strategy behind all that fire? You're talking straight to Gaethje with this, right? You really think Gaethje, you don't believe petty is actually skilled?
He's just tough, but not technical. He's wild, but you know, Gaethje, he's...
You're catching that word, petty, and instantly you're assuming he's not skilled, he's just scrappy, and you're completely buying that story. You're swallowing it whole. Hold up there. This isn't some polite strategy game happening in a quiet library. This is a freaking cage war, a savage, merciless battlefield. Absolutely, Gaethje definitely has technique. He's an incredibly skilled combatant, without question. But what the hell happens when by-the-book surgical accuracy crashes into a human demolition machine, who literally has absolutely zero left to lose? That seeming wildness, that chaotic unpredictability you witness in his approach, that's not some weakness that needs fixing. That right there is his most lethal, most crushing advantage. It's the complete unpredictability of how he moves, his attacks, his whole game plan that totally destroys every single carefully planned strategy opponents walk into that cage with. You think you can seriously prepare for textbook moves, for a predictable chain of techniques, but how do you actually game plan against pure unleashed determination against a warrior who represents total chaos? Gaethje isn't just battling some guy standing opposite him, he's battling an attitude, a relentless, unbreakable will, and that right there is a much more dangerous animal to face.
He has a lot of experience. See, he beats 2 times Fiziev. How?
First striking too.
Yeah, first round he gives a lot of like kicks, and no, he let kick him. He let like do a lot of things on him. But the second,
yeah, and then he just starts to like
crank it up another level. He's just gonna solve it, right?
And the same is gonna be here, I think, and I believe like Justin Gaethje gonna beat him by KO or by.
He's gonna solve it by the second round, they claim. That's the most ancient, most dangerously obvious playbook out there, right? This analyst, with total respect, watches a veteran fighter playing a careful strategy game, hunting for their opening. But what if, and stay with me here, what if the opponent isn't just allowing the fighter to get settled? What if the opponent has already cracked the exact predictability of that so-called experience and is setting a trap? This isn't some arcade game where you magically power up after a slow, boring opening in the first round. Do you really think that the veteran fighter hasn't carefully analyzed their opponent's exact first round struggles, their legendary second round comeback blueprint, the entire damn game plan? The notion that just having experience always guarantees victory is a comforting, dangerous myth that will definitely get you dropped cold. And if you believe that myth, you are completely missing the actual real war that's about to happen, the true levels of strategy in motion.
Look better than he did when he fought Michael Chandler. He was able to take him down. He was able to control him. His ground game is pretty good. He's saying he can finish his fight in less than 3 rounds. He thinks he's just better. What do you think he's just talking, or like what do you make of that?
We never seen him was a good fighter. So if he could beat Charles Oliveira, if he could beat me, and then of course we can.
Better than
When he battled Chandler. Hold on, let's actually ask the real tough question here. The one everyone seems afraid to address. The real issue isn't just if he's gotten better, it's if Michael Chandler, his opponent, has actually basically gotten weaker since that encounter. That right there is the crucial perspective that literally nobody is bringing up, and it totally flips the story. All of a sudden, we're hearing his wrestling is solid now after all this training. After all the battles, all the years, this isn't automatically real growth. This is pure brilliant mental manipulation. It's a strategically built story created specifically to make you buy the excitement, to make you miss the deeper realities. Don't get fooled. You have to look harder. Strip away the surface. What do you actually see when you really examine that earlier version? The one who battled Chandler. What was he truly about?
Bullshit.
You don't think Chandler's very good? I love
Chandler.
talking to you. You go crazy.
Chandler, bull. Bobby Green, bull.
King Green.
King Green, bull.
He
No,
beat
no,
Tony
same.
Ferguson too.
Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson, he was on his. He wasn't on his prime. You know, he was losing 8-10 fights. But if Tony Ferguson was like 5-6 years ago, he could like smash him.
Peak Tony Ferguson destroying everyone? Of course. We all want to desperately hold on to that picture, right? We all want to think that the 5 or 6 years ago version of El Cucuy still tears through today's division like an unbeatable ghost slipping through strikes and submissions. But let's be ruthlessly painfully real with ourselves right now. That isn't just a good dose of nostalgia for a former legend that's a destructive career-killing delusion. You are directly, basically insulting today's complete killers, the elite, ruthless fighters who rule the division right now. If you honestly believe Prime Ferguson would just easily walk through them, are we so completely terrified to accept that this sport, like everything else, changes? Or are you just really afraid to release your beloved heroes and confront the current harsh reality of the fight world? It's time to open your eyes and actually see the scene as it exists, not as you want it to be.
It would seem as though he would be the guy that you would want to win because he seems to want to fight you. He seems to want to fight you, though.
He's the same bullshit guy like a Tapuria. Tapuria wanted to fight me too, but not anymore.
You think that if Paddy wins, he wouldn't fight you?
Never.
He said he's never been offered a fight against you. That's why you guys haven't fought yet. I gotta ask you, Arman, this is just me doing my job, man.
Yeah, but like, UFC not gonna let him to fight with me. They gonna lose his.
But wait, he just revealed the truth, right? He just showed us a peek into the real uncomfortable reason why genuine exciting fights don't always materialize in this business. When somebody claims Paddy wants to battle anyone, that's amazing marketing. It's a perfect soundbite, but it's usually way from reality. The brutal, honest truth, the one they don't want you to face, is that the organization is usually actively, purposely protecting their cash cow, their valuable investment, from a real serious threat. They are safeguarding their investment. Clear and simple. And that right there is the total obvious contradiction. you have to face if you actually care about the sport's honesty. If they are constantly preventing these essential fan-wanted fights just to shield their top performers from defeat, then what are we, the viewers, even actually watching at this point? Is this a real competitive sport powered by talent and achievement, or is it a carefully managed, profit-driven show built to protect investments? You decide, is that really a champion, or just a conveniently sheltered asset hidden from real tests?
I have no idea. This week, everybody is talking more about me than about the Paddy Pimblett versus Gage. Like, even like I see a couple clips. I didn't see all press conference from yesterday.
Wait, he's claiming everyone's discussing me more than the Paddy Pimblett versus Gaethje fight. You catch that? That's not some random throwaway line meant to kill time. Oh, absolutely not. That is a planned total power move. That's a purposeful strategic play to completely steal the whole conversation, to pull the attention onto himself and off the actual critical discussion. They want you locked in on them. On the show they produce, not on the real tension between the fighters, not on the very genuine stakes of that matchup. And guess what? It's totally working. We, the fans, bite every single time without question, while you're busy discussing the commentators about the circus, the truly significant battles, the essential conversations, the real meaningful impact of PMA versus Gaethje. All of that disappears neatly under the carpet. Are we really so easily controlled by these moves? Or do we just like the simple distracting show over dealing with the hard realities of the sport? He directly said hearing like 4 or 5 questions was about me, like tons of the questions are about you.
Yeah, so, but, you know, can imagine if I was fighting this weekend, what it could be for Paramount and for the UFC. I think it could be big. Me versus Paddy.
So my question to you is this, right? You're confident that I think you might be favored to beat almost everybody in the world. You and Topuria are like super close in terms of the betting odds. Everybody else, you guys kind of wipe away.
Prime Connor versus Paddy. Let's be totally honest with ourselves right now, because the only thing prime about that possible fight right now is the pure desperation. The UFC, the marketing machine, desperately wants you to think that Conor McGregor still dominates everyone in the division, that he's still the unstoppable machine he used to be. But are we really honestly falling for this created excitement? Or is it just hopeful thinking from a huge brand in desperate need of its biggest, most profitable star to stay important? Think about it reasonably. The guy hasn't won a fight in years. His last win, a distant memory, and still we're discussing him being heavily favored against almost everyone else in the division. This right there is no longer about real skill or current ability. It's clearly about the machine. The whole system trying to revive a dying legacy to pump artificial energy back into a story. You, the devoted fans, have to make an important choice here. Are you watching for a real exciting match between 2 elite athletes? Or are you just gonna quietly accept whatever carefully built story they choose to sell you?
Charles, not. Yeah, it's because we are in our prime and we can box, we can wrestle. And we never see the Paddy, how he looks like with good fighters.
But you just said Topuria's bullshit guy too.
No, bullshit guy, he's avoiding me.
Yeah, you said
but like a fighter, he's a good fighter.
Right, so you said Topuria won't fight you.
Yeah.
You said you don't think Paddy will fight you.
Yeah, because I'm bad style. Yeah, because I know how to wrestle. If I was a good striker, for sure he could take me, you know?
So if that's true, then how can you hear him, right? He calls it a tough matchup. He's not claiming the opponent is afraid, not in the usual way. He's saying the opponent is intelligent. This isn't just about one single ducked fight. This right there is the ugly little truth that drives so much of combat sports. Everyone acts really shocked when a top-ranked fighter obviously avoids a grappler, a stylistic nightmare, a fighter who makes them appear less than unstoppable. But are you really honestly surprised anymore when it happens? This isn't about fear, not in the basic sense. It's about cold, brutal math. Fighters, especially elite ones, are huge investments. And nobody, absolutely nobody wants their golden goose, their precious asset, tied up with someone who makes them look sloppy, exposed, and beatable, even if that grappler might technically be inferior on paper. What does that disturbing reality tell you about the credibility of the official rankings in this sport? And what are we, the committed fans, actually paying our hard-earned money to watch in the end? Really think about it. I'm gonna get your title fight, Arman. How are you gonna earn your title fight?
I have no idea. So hopefully Gage wins and
Gage
Tapuria.
would fight you.
Gage fight me, yeah. Gage wins. Tapuria go up to 175 with Islam. I'll fight with Gage for the interim title, and then Gage Tapuria is coming back, and I beat Tapuria and get the title.
Yeah, that would be a fun fight.
Yeah, let's be completely honest right now, because this isn't how you really earn a real title shot in this sport. This whole twisted scenario he's selling, Gaethje fights me, then Tapuria goes up, then Gaethje beats Tapuria. What is this exactly? It sounds less like a strategic earned path to championship glory, and way more like a twisted fantasy, a wishful daydream you're hoping the UFC fairy godmother will magically deliver to your door. You really need to grasp this basic truth. The US, the world's top fighting organization, is not built on wishful thinking, on hopes and dreams that others will clear your route. You want that gold, you want that undisputed championship belt, then you don't just hope other people will make it happen for you or that everything will work out perfectly. You demand it. You make yourself undeniably, absolutely the most worthy challenger, period. Anything short of that is just pure empty noise, just talk. And what about the respect to Tapuria is fighting?
Sure, for sure. Yeah, Tapuria, he has a good power on the hands, like good boxing, good prep.
Respect for Poirier fighting, he claims. Hold on, you don't respect a guy who uses fear as a weapon, not in the usual sense of respecting their abilities. What people actually mean, what they're really saying, is that they are completely terrified of that one specific punch, that godlike fight-ending power that can immediately turn off the lights and shift the whole direction of a fight in one moment. It's less about the technical skill sometimes, and much more about a basic existential fear that a fighter like Poirier creates. And solid boxing from Tapuria, good pressure. Please, in a world where a devastating knockout force like Poirier exists, solid is usually a death sentence. Are we really discussing surgical, precise boxing to totally break down that pure, wild chaos that Poirier delivers? Or are we just hoping and praying that Tapuria's pressure doesn't accidentally walk him directly into the biggest equalizer in combat sports? You tell me, honestly, is Solid really truly enough against that type of power? Because he's a skilled fighter.
Do you think that the winner this weekend fights Tapuria? So are you going to fight again? Will you fight again in the meantime?
No, I don't see anybody I can fight. So if Holloway beats Oliveira, I can fight Holloway, but...
Hold up.
You don't see anybody. I can't fight, really? Let's break down that comment right now, because that's not real confidence coming through. That right there is strategic convenience, pretending to be courage. He's not actually saying that he physically can't fight them, that he's unable. He's carefully, subtly suggesting that he won't fight them unless everything perfectly lines up for his very specific, carefully selected matchup. Having every edge, it completely, totally reeks like avoidance. He's got his focus set on these big names: Holloway, Oliveira, the most profitable options. But what about the rest of the division's total killers, the hungry challengers who are constantly climbing the ladder? Are the devoted fans just supposed to think that nobody else in that loaded division is worth his time, while he carefully cherry-picks his fights for maximum profit and minimum danger? The fans deserve a fighting champion, one who welcomes all comers, not just a calculating one, who plays chess with their career.
No, UFC need that or not? Because it's easy money for me. But they can give me that fight. Yeah, even for BMF, it's good too, to get BMF and then get the...
If you get the BMF title, now you're holding that belt, that might think, oh, well, he's BMF champion. Let's give him BMF champion.
Yeah, and I want to be like an active champion and defend BMF, defend the real belt. Because I got 5-6 years, to work.
There's tons of people in the world that think, hold on, 5-6 years to work, and you're still discussing defending the BMF title. Let's be completely painfully real here, because that belt, as much as we enjoy the show, is pure total spectacle. It's a genius marketing trick, yes, an undeniable masterstroke of promotion, but it is not and will never be a legitimate championship in the grand historical context of this sport. Every single second, every bit of energy wasted chasing that active champion dream with a novelty belt is valuable, irreplaceable time stolen from what actually fundamentally defines greatness and creates a lasting impact on the sport. Because when your career clock is definitely counting down, when you're in the final phase of your fighting years, you don't chase glorified exhibition fights. No matter how thrilling they appear, you chase legacy, you chase undisputed, universally acknowledged gold. This isn't just about staying busy, it's about making a deep career-defining decision. Is it about creating a legendary permanent career that survives the test of time, or is it just about holding on to a romanticized past and a belt that basically means nothing beyond a single pay-per-view sale? What do you as a fan actually value in a fighter's final crucial stretch?
It's because of the style that you present for Topuria and the rest of those guys. And I tell you, man, when I watch you fight, especially the way you fought against Dan Hooker, it's gonna be very difficult for these guys to keep you off of them. How do you fight the Arman Tsarukyan of today? If you were getting as an opponent, how do you fight the Arman Tsarukyan of today? Because I remember the Charles Oliveira fight, and it wasn't as close as people say it was. It was a good fight, but you seem pretty comfortable in that fight. But this Dan Hooker fight, you just dominated him, and it looked like you guys were on.
Listen, everyone is totally raving about Arman Tsarukyan right now. And yeah, that performance against Dan Hooker, it was lights out, completely dominant. But what this commentator and honestly lots of people are basically missing is why Tsarukyan has suddenly become this total nightmare of the lightweight division. It's not just raw power, though he definitely has that. It's his scary, quick adaptation. He is not, and I mean not fighting the exact fight twice. That Islam fight, yeah, people like to dismiss it now, but if you watched carefully, it revealed a rapidly improving fighter, still unpolished, still developing. Now what you're witnessing right before your eyes is a finished weapon, a perfectly tuned machine. The Armans that completely destroyed Dan Hooker, that is absolutely not the same Arman Islam Makhachev met in their first battle. And I can promise you, it definitely won't be the same Arman who enters the cage with his next challenger. This isn't just simple dominance, this right there is a frightening exponential growth. Do you really honestly believe that anyone at lightweight right now has a solid understanding of him anymore? He's a constantly moving target, always evolving.